All right, guys, welcome here. So we have somebody from Paris here. We have people from Brazil, André Carretoni, Nordine Amara. Well, guys, be welcome and let's have a good time today. So I'm going to cover 5 points that are essential if you would like to master, if you'd like to understand the Brazilian guitar and be able to play it authentically. So this is more of a philosophical class. I have a lot of videos in the channel that show about harmony and technique. So this is not going to be this kind of live, all right? Basically, I want to... I actually feel like I missed when I was in university. I went to music school in the United States, and I missed a little bit of a more philosophical content sometimes to give me direction mentally. You know, because there's a lot of times musical education doesn't address points, you know, like your energy, your direction, you know, your objectives, the rate of your success or the rate of achievement of your own objectives, you know, and how to go about, you know, spending your time, how to increase your rate of learning and understanding. Because sometimes students or just musicians, they seem to run or walk aimlessly, and have a hard time finding or achieving their objectives. So I decided to make a live this way to address these things that I used to miss when I was growing. I'm still growing, I'm still learning every day. I'm an eternal student, but I felt like I could throw some light for you guys. So basically, guys, these 5 points, what are these 5 points that are going to be the most, I would say, fundamental for your learning and understanding and being able to perform in the Brazilian guitar style? The first one has to do with the fact that it's a language. This is a language. Music is made of languages. It's all the same 12 notes. We only got 12 notes. Did you know that? But, hey, hello from Lisboa, Belgium. Emerson from Brazil. Croatia, wow, Croatia, you guys, you Croatians took Brazil out. Took Brazil out of the race in the World Cup this year, man. I was so sad here, but I was very drawn to appreciate the Croatian team. They're true warriors, very, very beautiful to see. Anyways, so the first point that is going to help you, you have to remember it's a language. So this point is actually the same for all languages. Doesn't matter if you want to learn jazz, or classical, or flamenco. And this is something that sometimes people forget to do, believe it or not, they forget, and I have been there. I once wanted to learn actually Brazilian guitar, I wanted to get better at it, but I forgot to do the most important thing. And what is the most important thing when you want to learn a new language? It is to listen as much as you can to the style. So when you are driving your car, when you're going out for a jog, when you're cooking, when you're taking a shower, when you are going to sleep, or when you're preparing your breakfast, you should put some music on and make sure it's Brazilian if you are interested in learning the Brazilian music. Because we could talk harmony and technique forever. I could explain to you about groove forever, and it's not going to come out unless you listen. So you must make a compromise to yourself that you're going to listen to maybe one record a day, or maybe a station, you know, on Spotify or Alexa or whatever. And you make sure you're listening to artists like Dominguinhos, Martinho da Vila, Egberto Gismonti, Yamandu Costa, Tom Jobim, Chico Buarque, Baden Powell. They don't even have to be only guitar players. You're actually better off if you listen to non-guitar players, because then you get more external input to bring into your guitar in a very rich way. Because if you only copy from other guitar players, you're not going to do anything new. So, all right, guys, so this is the first one. Listen. It's simple, but not everybody seems to understand or know that. So make sure you're listening to the music. You're not going to play like anybody authentically if you don't listen. All right, so let's go to number 2. What is the second point that that is going to be crucial for you to understand in order to take your first steps in the direction of learning the Brazilian guitar? Now, first of all, why am I even talking about the Brazilian guitar here? It's because I believe that through the course of time, through the recent years, I've seen the impact that this style has caused or has claimed its own ground in the world guitar scene. Because you have a strong ground for the classical music, a strong planet, I would say, or a voice, you know, or a culture, better off even. And you have a strong culture for flamenco guitar, so you have these two worlds, the flamenco, the classical. I would say that, of course, the jazz guitar is also one, but we're talking here more about, I would say, like a nylon string or acoustic type of guitar. Although these techniques that I teach here in my channel, they may be applied for steel string, electric guitar, no problem at all. But the Brazilian guitar has definitely claimed its own right, its own name, and it seems to be really, I wouldn't say taking over, but a lot of people seem to be turning their attention to see how rich of a style this is, and how much you can bring that style into many other styles. Even if you don't want to play, like say you don't want to play Brazilian guitar itself, you can take the Brazilian guitar fundamentals to everything else and make everything else more rhythmic, more colorful, more just rich, you know. So the second point, guys, is a point that is physical. It has to do with your rhythmic sensibility. The first thing about Brazilian guitar is that it's mostly a rhythmic type of guitar. Of course, the harmony is very deep too, but I think the biggest thing lies in the rhythm. And I'm about to grab my guitar here to show you something that is the second point. The second point is the nucleus of the rhythmic concept of Brazilian music, and it is called syncopation. Is syncopation, is it written with a Y? Emerson, is it written with a Y or an I? I think it's a Y, right? Martinho da Vila Baden Powell, yeah. João Gilberto as well, definitely. Okay, thank you. All right, so what is syncopation? Syncopation is a rhythmic approach, is a way to treat rhythmic notes. And in Brazilian music, it is everywhere. It is the essence of Brazilian music. You see it both in the melody and in the rhythm. What is syncopation? Syncopation basically is this. You have to divide one beat into 4 16th notes. So you have this taka 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 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. All right. So we call the straight 16th notes the ones that are the downbeat, the one, and the one that cuts it in half, or the upbeat, as we call it. That is the third 16th note. So if you divide them in half, you have 1 and 3. That is this 1 3 1 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Those are the straight 16th notes. Now you have the syncopated 16th notes. What are they? If 1 and 3 are your straight, then 2 and 4 are your syncopated notes. So it is your job to get as familiar as possible with this even before you grab the guitar in your hand. You have to make sure you understand this deep within your body. So I think a lot of playing Brazilian guitar, you know, a lot of it has to do with dancing. I would even put here I would even put this syncopation and dancing. All right, you guys have to know how to dance. Put some music on, grab your partner, and get your body moving. All right, you have to feel the music within your body in order to be able to syncopate naturally. If you think about syncopation as a theory, it is going to be stiff. But I have to explain to you as a theory first so that we can dissect and see what we're looking at. 4 16th notes. Syncopation is 2 and 4. How do I feel that? How do I put that into feeling? I'm not even going to use the guitar right now. I'm going to just clap and use my voice, which is the basic, most instinctive instrument. And even Paco de Lucia said that the guitar is an obstacle. So and it's a difficult obstacle, you know, to be learned, to be mastered. So when you want to learn music, you want to take everything by step. You want to take it in small bites that you can chew one at a time. So it doesn't make sense for me to try to grab the guitar and go on syncopating my brains off if I can't even do it with my body before the obstacle of the guitar. So first I feel the beat. And then I'm going to put it in 16th notes. Ta 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 ta. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. And then I'm going to pick out the second and the fourth, and it's going to sound like this. I'm even tapping my foot. Remember, dancing. I'm tapping my foot and feeling it with my body where 1 is. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. And then pick out the second and the fourth. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. That is the essence of syncopation. And this kind of subdivision happens everywhere in the Brazilian music, both in the melody and the harmony. I am currently working with a few students, and I can tell that that is one of the things that sometimes they haven't acknowledged, and they try to play Brazilian music, and you can hear sometimes a kind of a stiffness, or they tend to think more in straight 16th, because most people are influenced by rock and roll, right? Nothing against rock and roll. I love rock and roll. But rock and roll, the emphasis of the melodic subdivisions and the language, it's a language, like I said in the beginning of the live. The emphasis is on the straight 16ths. So the subdivisions of a beat are more like this. Pa, 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 da, da, right? It's rock. So the people that have been rooted in rock, they have a real hard time with syncopation. And then when they try to play Brazilian music or Brazilian guitar, they can't swing right, but they need somebody to address them, that they need to first put the guitar down and understand syncopation. That's where it's at, guys. So here I'm going to show you guys what it is. I'm going to use a D major 9 chord right here. Don't forget I have a 7-string guitar, so you can ignore that string. And I'm using a D major 7 with a 9th chord. All right? And basically the concept of syncopation is this. I'm going to mark with my bass where 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to grab the 2nd and 4th 16th notes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is being done slowly. And then, of course, later you're going to vary that with also straight 16ths, because that's where the Samba clave happens. The Samba clave is a rhythmic dialogue between straight 8s and syncopated 8th notes. When you get that conversation, and that's also the African drumming tradition. It's all about call and answer, call and response. That's how their musical statements are made, and that we have inherited here in the Americas. From North America to South America, we all have inherited the African drumming in our music. Brazilian music is a combination of classical counterpoint, Western theory, right? Which came from 16th or I would say 18th century composers like Bach and his contemporaries. So we have inherited that into our music, plus the African batuque. The batuque word is a word in Portuguese for the drumming style. So we have to learn how to syncopate, and I recommend you guys put your guitar down, and then later applying the syncopation in a more faster fashion. You would have something like this. Syncopated notes. For example, I could sing a song here and you can see how much the syncopation is into the melody. A song by Djavan, for example. It's, let's see. Valei-me Deus, é o fim do nosso amor, perdoa. All my accompaniment is being made with syncopated notes. That's syncopation. It's all over the rhythm, all over the harmony. You can see how much the melody matches the rhythmic accents of the chords. Valei-me Deus, é o fim do nosso amor, perdoa por favor. Eu sei que o erro aconteceu, mas não sei o que fez tudo mudar de vez. Onde foi que eu errei? Eu só sei que amei, que amei, que amei, que amei. Anyways, so just to show you a little bit of why the syncopation is so crucial, it's because it's the backbone of Brazilian guitar style in Brazilian music. So you're not going to get anywhere before you acknowledge this and exercise it. So let your guitar down a little bit and do that exercise. The good thing about these lives is that you can always stop and go back. You can watch it again later on, and you can find the spot where I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. I'm tapping my foot on the floor as well to feel where 1 is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the syncopation is here. 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. That's the essence. You guys need to practice that. And that has to do with feeling in your body. That's why I wrote dancing here. All right, now let's continue. Let me see if there's any questions here. Croatian football warriors. That's good to hear. Heart-like lines. You do have heart-like lines. Tihomir. Is that how you pronounce your name? All right, guys. Let's continue. What is the third What is the third point that is crucial for learning Brazilian guitar? Now this has to do with the syncopation. Part of it is the syncopation. First, in order to explain this point, is you have to understand that Brazilian guitar is like a drum. You're really playing drums, except you're using notes, but you're playing drums. The essence of Brazilian guitar is rhythm, so a lot of it lies on the right hand. The right hand is where the rhythm happens, and that's where most of your attention should be devoted to. And people forget that. They think, a lot of videos show the left hand, right? But the essence is the right hand. That's where we should be watching. So when you play drums, in the African drum tradition, you have two instruments that are very representative, very important in the African tradition, that we have inherited in Brazil in the Samba style. These two instruments are called surdo and tambourine. The surdo is your rock, is your downbeat. It never changes. It is your house, right? And it goes like this in Samba. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have two beats, downbeat, 1, 2, where the first one is staccato, is a short, but it has the same duration. The only thing is silences soon. And the second one is also a beat, but it's drawn out and long and fat. So we have this 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. So that is your house. That's what's going to make all the phrasing over it make sense. If you spin on a measure, when I say spin, it's like a rhythmic duration that is longer, and you have one that's shorter, and then you put them against each other, and they're going to hit different parts of each other. They're going to spin on top of each other. You're going to hear me say that term a lot. Sometimes you do a phrasing that will spin over the measure, and the spinning can only happen if you have that backbone going bop bop boom bop bop boom, so you know where one is, and then all the other phrasing you're going to do here on this other layer is going to make sense. It's going to come alive, right? So it's very common in Samba, for example, to do these cells against each other, like 2 against 3, you know, or 3 16th notes against one, which is a dotted quarter note. Sorry, a dotted 8th note against the surdo. So that brings us to this problem. We're going to have to do these things in the right hand. This hand is going to play the tambourine. This guy is going to play the surdo. And this is, I see the most difficulty when I teach some of my students. I see, especially the ones that are rooted in rock, they have not gotten this independency of voices between the fingers. And then when they do a tambourine line, which is like this, when they try to play that with the right hand, the thumb keeps going along. The thumb gets lost in the fingers because their brain is telling them to do everything at the same time. And that's not how it is. You have to get independency, or should I say interindependency? I'm not sure, but independency, guys. You have to get independency right on the right hand. Independency. Here in parentheses, on the right hand. All right, let me show what that means. I see this a lot happening in my lessons because when I tell them to play a tambourine pattern, which could be like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see, this figure is totally independent. It's going. It's a thing of its own. It has its own brain. But this guy has to be happening. And I see that when my students try to play the tambourine, the thumb goes along and they end up doing this. Something like that. I can't quite show it, but it's something like that. So you have to earn independency. You have to see this written as two separate parts. I did teach this subject specifically on a video I posted recently called The Basics of Samba, and I actually have the PDF, the tab written on it, and then I show you the voices where the tambourine voices, how they're written, and the dialogue of calling and response, and then I show how that gets to be done with the independent thumb, and that in the end is going to look like this. fingers do, this guy is not gonna care. It's gonna keep going. Boom, 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 da 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 dum, da da dum, da da dum, 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 ding, 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 da 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 I can do that sequence and keep going and keep spinning it, and you see the bass is never going to change. It does not get affected. So that of course needs to be practiced in a methodical fashion. You know, sometimes it's good to write the rhythm down that you're looking at, so you see exactly where the attacks they lay against the bass. So you see when to play the bass. Sometimes the bass gets played alone, sometimes it gets played along with a right hand hit. So you have to put that down on the paper and just make sure you do have to worry about unlocking these parts, treating them like different instruments, and then you're going to be on the right way. All right, guys, let's continue here. What is the third most important fundament? The fourth. Number 4, guys, we have a fourth fundament coming up here. And the fourth fundament is this. Once you put that bass aside from the tambourine and you work on them independently, once you got this independency from your thumb and your fingers, then you get to choose what you're going to do with that bass. And that's where the Brazilian guitar starts coming in its identity. By the fourth point here, it's going to start looking like real Brazilian guitar. Let me say something. The Brazilian guitar is, I would say, I'm taking a risk here, but I could pretty confidently say that it is more of a rhythmic than a melodic instrument. No, sorry, it is more of an accompaniment instrument than a melodic instrument. Of course, you can play melodies on it all day long, but if you look at the Brazilian setting, like Choro is the most authentic, I would say, type of instrumental Brazilian music, which has gone into orchestral, writing and gone into the big theaters and big composers. But Choro is the essence of our compositional, language. In Choro, the instruments that play the melody are not really the guitar. They are the mandolin, the flute, mostly. Sometimes you might have an accordion or something. But these two instruments, or the voice as well, they are the primary melodic instruments. And the Brazilian guitar, the function that it displays is much more of an accompaniment instrument. So the real masters of Brazilian guitar, it seems to me, a lot of them are actually born while accompanying a singer or a flute or a mandolin. So when you accompany, that's when the Brazilian guitar really comes into play, is doing the low-end counterpoint. What we call in Portuguese the baixarias. That's where you really see the Brazilian guitar shine. You don't see guitar being played like this anywhere else in the world, I can tell you that. The style of baixarias is when you play counterpoint on the bass lines right here, that they may serve as accompaniment to any melody, and they never step on the foot of the melodic player, because you're doing a low end, respecting the harmony. You're not just doing random notes. You have to respect the harmony. So I just came to the point now. It is bass lines, and in order to play bass lines, you have to know harmonies. So I don't know which one I should write first. Maybe I'm gonna put bass lines. And of course, it's intrinsic that if you're going to create bass lines, you must know harmony. You must understand harmony. There's no way around this, guys. This is the true homework. You cannot play Brazilian style. How could you create a counterpoint accompaniment on the bass without knowing harmony? So if anybody tries to teach you Brazilian guitar by just showing you tunes and have you play them and not addressing this, it's incomplete. If you really want to sound authentic, like you go see, for example, guys like Alessandro Penese, Rogério Caetano, não é o Zé da Velha, Rogério Caetano, Zé da Velha, that's a wrong name. Or even Kainan Cavalcante or Yamandu Costa, of course, but however, these two are not so much, don't have their careers centered around accompanying. Here in my city, Florianópolis, we have Sebastião Sete Cordas, we have Dedinho, we have some guys that are true masters of simply just accompanying singers, flutes, mandolinists, They just accompany, and what they do just sounds so beautiful, and you won't see the guitar being played anywhere else in the world that way. That's what the Brazilian guitar is, in my opinion. It's a rhythmic instrument that serves for mostly accompaniment and harmonically very rich. You can't run away from that. So what are some points about your harmony that you need to know? Know your harmonized scale, first of all. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. You have to know what these guys are and what they serve for, what they are used for. Second point about harmony, know your cadences. 2-5-1, 4-5-1, 6-5-1. Know how to lead the bass on the cadences. So this is a cadence right here. 2, 5, 1. C major. So 2-5-1, I got D minor, G, and C major 7. And the bass line. That is one of the things that are exclusive part of the Brazilian guitar style. You don't see this kind of approach anywhere else, and it's very important to dive in there and see what's happening, right? So bass lines, accompaniment, and harmony. And then finally, guys, this is not really in any particular order. The last point that I have separated to mention to you guys here could go with the first one, sort of is right along the lines of listening, but you have to number 5. Does anybody have a guess? Would you guys like to guess what number 5 is? Are you registered for the masterclass next week? Oh yeah. Guys, by the way, there's a new setting here on the channel. If you guys would like to ask a question or send a message, Felipe also teaches 1-by-1 Floripa. Oh yeah, Andrea, I do teach 1-by-1. I do teach private lessons. What I was going to say is in the channel there's a new setting that in order to be able to ask questions or make comments, you just have to subscribe for the channel. And I appreciate your support, and then that way we can communicate. By the way, we do have a masterclass coming up next week on the 17th. That's going to be a long masterclass, probably about 3 hours long, where I'm going to teach the basics of some of the most fundamental rhythms of Brazilian guitar. So I'm going to teach hands-on the samba, these syncopations, but also baião, some of the partido alto, and a few others. So it's going to be a lot like this, but just longer and more practical. This year is a more philosophical, more verbal class. The one on the 17th that you have to register by doing your email, I'm going to actually teach the playing. I wasn't even meant to hold the guitar on this live. I actually just wanted to talk. So anyways, guys, yeah, the registration for that masterclass is here in the description, all right? So who wants to guess what is the most important? Tyler's in the house. Hey, Tyler, what's up? All right, Tyler, harmonies I actually wrote here as a requirement for developing bass lines. So harmonies will go right along with that, but maybe we could put it here on number 5. I mean, this is not really something that must be correct in one way. But I put here number 5 as transcribing from the masters. So let's say like the masters, just the masters. You have to transcribe stuff from them. You cannot be creative before you know what can be done, what has been done before you. I mean, you can be creative, but very likely if you try to do this, if you try to develop this instrument, skipping this step right here, you may end up taking longer to get to conclusions that you would have gotten sooner, or you may sometimes create something that you think is your own, but when you go see these guys, you see that they are already doing what you're trying to do, and they're doing it better because they have transcribed from before. So it's that old saying in English that says that we have to stand on the shoulders of the ones before us, excuse me. So that's what it's all about, standing on the shoulders of the ones before us. We have to transcribe as much as we can. So I myself have done my homework and still do that way by transcribing. Rogério Caetano has been my favorite when it comes down to Brazilian guitar style of accompaniment. He's definitely a master of bass lines. You also have to check out Gino Sete Cordas. Here's a good name, Gino Baden Rabelo, Rafael Rabelo, right? Rabelo. So these are a few of guitar masters, true guitar masters that help shape what Brazilian guitar is. If you want to know what it is, because it's hard to explain, it's better explained if heard instead of verbally. So check out these three guys. Gino Sete Cordas is the master that has created the 7-string guitar style accompaniment with low end counterpoint. So he did not accompany just playing chords, but his chords were also always being led by bass lines that represent the inversions of the chord. For example, I could do a C major here, and then I could also do it here. Or you could go down chromatic, go down by step on the scale. All these notes that I've played, they represent just C major. But you're inverting the chord or walking along available chord tones, which in this case you're the tonic, the 7th, the 6th, leads you to the 5, which is another chord tone, and so on. So listen to the masters, guys. These are three names. Gino is the one that represented, that created the Brazilian guitar accompaniment in the bass. And then you have Baden Powell, who's like an explosion of rhythm, explosion of right-hand rhythm. You should check him out for the comping style, you know, things like this. So that's Baden style. And Rafael Rabelo, I mean, he's the father of us all, right? Rafael Rabelo has been probably the classiest guitar player, 7-string guitar player, who really brought in the classical influence. I think he was, I haven't read too deep in his life, but I think he was classically trained because his sound was just too clean, too beautiful to be true, you know? So he's a reference as far as sound, as far as also the use of the 7-string guitar. And that's where he was so smart. I think he was a very advanced guitar player, but instead of looking to other classical guitar players, he looked out to the street school. He looked out to the guys that were out in the bar playing hardcore samba, you know, for dancers. And that's where he found his richness. That's where he found the real juice. And he already had the playability of a master guitar player in a classical sense, just playing very clean, amazing right and left hand, so polished. But instead of using that talent in a classical realm, he turned his vision back to Brazil, out to the culture of the street, you know, so that's why it's so beautiful. So Rafael Rabelo is your reference, guys. Check out these guys. And this speech has actually gone faster than I imagined. I thought I was going to mention these 5 points. It would take me an hour, but it took me 35 minutes. But I'd like to open for questions here. Guys, let me see if there's any questions. Henrique. Felipe, there's no info on the masterclass on the description. Okay, all right, you got that answered. Emerson, would you put the info of the masterclass on the description, please? Gino Sete Cordas, yeah, he's writing what I'm saying there. Thank you for that. Any questions, guys, about anything I said? Anything that you'd like to inquire about this subject? I'll take a minute to let you guys speak. Or just give me a shout. Tell me you're out there listening, guys. Tell me you're out there so I feel like I'm not alone. All right, I'm going to share with you guys a little arrangement that I'm preparing here for a tune it's going to be soon recorded in the channel. This tune is called Influência do Jazz. Influência do Jazz was written by Carlos Lira, if I'm not mistaken. Was that the composer? And basically it's a 2-5-1 in A major. Here's a slow chord arrangement. Tyler, thanks, man. Cruiser boarding. Thanks, Cruiser. Faster. Samba meu. Samba meu. Yeah, guys, that wasn't what I would like for it to be, but let's see if there's any questions that have come up here. Jan, o som desse polegar é demais, swingaço. Opa, valeu, Hugo. Obrigado. I love Bossa Nova. I would like to play it better. Do you think to create a course only to Bossa Nova? André, I do have a course called The Secrets of Brazilian Guitar, and there's Bossa Nova in there. There's a whole what do you call module on the rhythm of Bossa Nova that's written in PDF as well as shown in many examples. But on this free masterclass on the 17th that I'm going to be giving, I'm going to go over that one clave of Bossa Nova, which is essentially this. Simple style. You could get the Bossa Nova probably in just an hour worth of focus in this material, just to get that. But you have to have the independency of finger, because you have one clave on the right hand, ta 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 ta, and the bass going boom 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 boom. So you have to pay attention to that point. But yeah, man, I would love to help you in the future. Just make sure you be with us in this masterclass on the 17th, where I'm really supposed to get my hands onto the guitar. Let's see. Hi, tips on some typical Samba songs in tunes. Of course, Emerson, if you could write this down for them. Emerson is my engineer here, internet engineer and partner here, who's helped me out in this live. Some of the samba tunes could be Só Danço Samba, influência do jazz. Man, there's so many. Receita de samba, Chega de Saudade, As Rosas Não Falam, Incompatibilidade de Gênios. Mas valei-me Deus, não é valei-me Deus, é... Nem Margarida, nasceu, como é que é? Flor de Lis, do Djavan. It's a good one, Flor de Lis. Or anything by Zeca Pagodinho, anything by Martim da Vila, anything by that, by these guys. You have anything sang by Alcione. Alcione. Yeah, so there you go. No problem, no problem. We got Brand van den Brekkel. Are you from, you must be from the Netherlands. Do you have a link to the samba lesson you talked about, or exercises, patterns to do with fingers? Yeah, I do have a link, but I mean, I don't have, maybe I can ask for my friend Emerson to find that for you, but if you go into the YouTube channel, or just type in Felipe Coelho on YouTube, Samba, the basics of Samba, and you will see that video. I also have recorded recently a couple tutorials for how to play wave and how to play Só Danço Samba. And I've had a long tutorial long ago that was extremely successful on YouTube. I think it has more than 10 or 15,000 views. It's on Girl from Ipanema. And when I do these tutorials on YouTube, I explain the songs just like I do in the courses that I teach. I explain them deeply with a harmonic analysis of every single note. So no chord goes by being taught without you knowing what every single note is and represents. And once you know what it represents, meaning like the third or the seventh, you know how to treat it in a voice leading context. Like the seventh of a dominant chord must resolve down to the third of the resolution chord, and these types of things. So for those of you guys who like some depth, you're more than welcome to watch these free videos on my channel, Girl from Ipanema, Só Danço Samba, and Wave. You just type in Felipe Coelho, how to play wave, or Felipe Coelho wave. Felipe Coelho, Só Danço Samba. Felipe Coelho, the basics of samba, and you get all this free content. By the way, I will have a gift at the end of this live here. The gift is actually a PDF. I have done several PDF arrangements of my own. The way that I like to arrange for guitar, in all modesty, but honestly, I came across several people from around the world who have made great compliments for the material that has been arranged by me. In the beginning of my channel, there's a list of Brazilian guitar, and you see several tunes of Brazilian guitar that I play, and that's how I like to arrange them. I do my own thinking to try to bring different styles together sometimes, not just the Brazilian one. Use a lot of improvisation as well, and I try to be creative in the ways that I put these together. And I've written several PDFs, but these PDFs are actually more geared towards the more, I wouldn't say basic or obvious, but I would say just the, yeah, I guess I could say basic way to play a song, but still sounding, according to all the fundamentals, still sounding very Brazilian. So for those of you guys who stay till the end of the live, I'm going to share with you a link for one of these PDFs that comes straight from the Secrets of Brazilian Guitar course. One of these PDFs also that I have made is for the tune, Mais Que Nada. This is a famous tune I love to play. And I got a PDF of this that's available in the link. And I'll share this link with you guys towards the end of the lesson, of this meeting. But this is... version. This is what I'm singing. It goes, mais que nada, sai da minha frente que eu quero passar, pois o samba está animado, e eu quero é sambar. Este samba que é misto de maracatu, é samba de preto velho, samba de preto tu. So I found out how to play the song instrumentally as a chord solo, like this. this PDF towards the end of the meeting here. But I appreciate you guys staying here with me for this long. It's been 45 minutes. We got still almost 30 people watching. That's awesome. Any questions, guys? Anything that I may be able to address? I can make the rest of this meeting. I intend to make it last for an hour. I can make it sort of a private lesson for you guys here if you're interested in any subjects of your particular interest. I'll be glad to assist. Thank you very much for this guitar class. Thank you. Thank you, Ennio. Where are you from, Ennio? Thank you for being here. So for those of you guys also, as I am waiting for your any questions or observations, I invite you guys to support the channel by subscribing. I'll be very glad. And also send me some suggestions of what you'd like to see me record. This board, guys, here is actually the board where I write the songs that I want to record in a list. But I deleted the board. I erased it in order to use for this lesson today. But I do have a list of tunes that I'm recording for the channel. And I'm very happy with the success that the channel has been achieving. We've been getting more and more people appreciating the content and getting in touch with me. That's very great. I'm very happy. And this is all for my family, guys. Everything that I do here is to support my children. So I appreciate any support. So I would like to ask you to give me suggestions of tunes that you'd like to see me record. I can bring my own twist and my own interpretation to these Brazilian or international tunes. I also have done a few in the class here that are a few in my channel that are very broad, popular tunes, like from Dua Lipa, from what are the other popular tunes that I've made here? Like Dua Lipa, and there's a few other ones that I forgot. I forgot the name of them. Oh yeah, I did the Sugar High from Harry Styles the other day. It's a short video though, but it was great to use this drumming technique. Right? As you're playing chords, you can drum with this part of your hand into this part of the guitar here, into the bridge, and you get like a bass drum. So I recorded on my YouTube in the short videos. I recorded the Watermelon Sugar High one of these days. Somebody had asked me actually to do that, and I said, yeah, I can do it, and I thought it was a good idea. That's why I did it. You have no contact in your website. Can I write to you to have info? Yeah, sure. My email here, I'll put my email here if you guys would like to chat. This is my email, guys. Thank you for your interest. You guys are all welcome to write me an email with your personal questions and interests. I love to give feedback, guys. I love to I've helped so many people in the past and still in the present. And sometimes I like people that reach out and send me videos and ask me, to give them some feedback. And I love to do that. And I don't charge anything to do that, guys, just to make observations about your playing. You guys are welcome to send a video. I don't play Tropicalia, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but I'll look into it. I can learn anything. So just if you'd like to me to address that tune in one day in a live or video, let me know. Thanks a lot for the lesson, folks, on rhythm. No problem. Thank you, brother. You're welcome to go back to the middle of the live to see what was spoken. But I think as far as practical and theoretical content, which was not the the intent of this class, you can reach for the videos in the channel. There's a lot of videos talking about rhythm and technique, and you can find those. And there I'll be way more specific on how to put your hand where and how to make the sequence of notes and all that stuff. But for now, I'll even give you a little more tip here that's coming up. In the live of the 17th, I'm going to be very technical, right? And this is one of the techniques that I really like to show you guys along with the up and down thumb that sometimes is used like this. Can you guys see my thumb? So I'm using a double thumb here. That's one technique I'm going to explain. But this one is called double stroke, where you separate these two fingers by this one and you go. It makes it easier for you to flow and play faster subdivisions when you're playing a faster samba. Because if it's slow, you can just grab with all fingers like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. the space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't need any technique to ease you out, you know, to make it more fluent. But when you're playing, how can you subdivide 16 notes in this way? It's too fast. That's why the double stroke comes in the line. Actually, there are the two different things. One is double stroke, and the other one is this 3-finger. This is not a picado. Picado is when you lean, but this is a 3-finger rest stroke sequence that you can use in samba like this. Get that, so you can use these 3 fingers in a sequence, but not picado. I'm talking about rest, free stroke. Free stroke is when you do not rest on the guitar, right? There's so much about technique we could cover, guys. This could be an endless conversation. What do you think of new pop songs with bossa nova rhythm, like Perfect Pair? But I think it's great, man, because it's a fusion, and that's how music has been made in the world, and all the musical cultures have been formed. It was by fusion, and the fusion is natural that it keeps happening, and artists should always keep looking for that in order to make new stuff. Otherwise, the stuff doesn't recycle, you know. So I love the use of bossa nova, especially the use of samba and partido alto and anything like that to be used in songs from other countries. I think it's a winner. It's a great strategy. It says, I skipped one. Jigs Hidalgo. Hi Felipe. When playing a chord on bossa nova or samba, it is always needed to play the root and the 5th alternative on the bass line to imitate the surdo. Yes. Or can you play the chord only with the root? You can play it only with the root. It's not going to be wrong. But the surdo there is definitely a plus that helps you in the swing, helps you get that. So then you have a more close emulation to the African drumming style. So, but it's not something that if you don't do, it's wrong. It's just something that makes it a little better. Like say you make a strawberry shake. It's like a little sugar. Throw a little sugar in there. That's a little sweeter. You know what I mean? Just a little sweeter. But it's still going to be a strawberry shake, right? If you shake up strawberry and milk and whatever, it's still going to be a shake. But you want it as sweet as possible, right? All right, not as sweet as possible. But, Alexi, is Alexi in the house? Alexi, Ukraine, nice to see you guys. Yeah. Guys, Alexi here, he was a student of the first Secrets of Brazilian Guitar. I believe that was 2 years ago. He was one of the first guys. And Alexi, if you'd like to throw in some feedback there for us, we are holding a live on the 17th, and I'm calling all the people here to come see the live. It will be about 3 hours long, where I'm going to be teaching all the fundamentals of the Brazilian guitar that you have seen, you have gone through, you have experienced. So be welcome to share your experience. By the way, guys, I have created a Brazilian community, Secrets of Brazilian Guitar community. Oh, but that's not for the live here. That's only for the students of the course. So that's another subject. Sorry about that. But we're coming close to an end here, guys. We got 4 minutes. I'm going to be taking just a few more questions or observations. I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much, guys. I ask you kindly to subscribe to the channel in order to keep getting the content. And please share with me what kind of content you would like me to record and to produce for you guys. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate your support very much. And yeah, guys, that's it. Oh, Dan! Oh, thank you for that, Dan. You didn't need that, man. Thank you, Dan. Dan here is a friend of mine from university. We both went to jazz school. That was Georgia State University. I was a graduate student of jazz guitar, and Dan was also a jazz guitar student. Thank you guys for staying until the end of the live. As I had promised, I'm delivering here the PDF arrangement of Mais Que Nada, instrumental version. All right? You can search on YouTube. I have made the video as well if you want to learn it, not only chord melody, but also just accompaniment style, which could get you gigs. If you guys are able to just accompany something on the guitar, you don't have to worry about playing chord melody. That's already enough to get you active on the scene. Learn some 10, 15 pieces, accompany a singer or another instrument, and you should be good to go. In fact, the guitar is an instrument that I believe fits even better the position of accompaniment playing than melody, because it's just perfect for it, man. You have this independency of voices, and you have the medium-ish register. It's not so high as a flute or a mandolin or a violin, which are the true, melodic stating instruments. So the guitar, if you learn to accompany on it, then that's all you need to be happy, It's learn to accompany. Hey guys, wow, thank you for that. Alexandre, Alexandre is from Canada. Thank you for joining me, Alexandre. We are working together right now on private lessons, and he's from Canada, and he's actually a pretty decent player already, who's got some of the flamenco techniques already in his hands. So we're just working together on advancing that. But thank you for being here, and I appreciate those donations. Very thankful for that. And yeah, guys, so don't forget, final word here. Sign up for the free masterclass. It's going to be a 3-hour long masterclass where I'm going to teach rhythms and techniques in detail and take up questions only for the subscribers. All you need to subscribe is your email. The link for subscription is here on the description. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you so much for that support there. The link for the subscription, the masterclass is going to be on February 17th. That I believe is a week from today. So next Friday, guys, a week from today, we will be meeting, right? So thank you for being here, guys. We're coming to an end. I really appreciate your support. If there's one last question or anything like that, I'll be glad to take it. If not, I'll be seeing you guys next week. Make sure you subscribe for the lesson and for the channel, but I'm saying for the live, because that live on the 17th is to get the link for it. It's not going to be open on my channel like that. Or is it? It might be. Emerson, is it going to be open? But it's better for you to subscribe so that you can get the lembretti. How do you call that? You can get an email that's going to remind you of the time and place to be, the link and everything. So guys, make sure to sign up in the link in the description. And don't miss, that's one good opportunity, guys, next week. One good opportunity for those of you guys who are wanting to develop your world music and world guitar and Brazilian guitar abilities. That's the place for you guys. It's going to be free, about 3-hour long of pure workout, pure exercises and fundamentals. All right, you don't want to miss this, guys. February 17th. Thank you for being here. This live is going to stay up on the channel for those of you who came in late. I taught a little bit about these 5 crucial points of learning the Brazilian guitar. You must remember and acknowledge all these points. Otherwise, you might be going the longer route and you want to take the shorter route, right? So this is the shorter route here to developing your Brazilian guitar skills and play those Brazilian tunes like a brother. All right? Thank you so much, guys. It's been amazing. Let me see here. Don't forget to give your thumbs up. Thumbs up! This message is held for review. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Alexandre. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you all, guys, for listening. Till next time. Bye-bye.